Well, here we go. Guess what's just arrived? My Halloween horror haul for this year's Halloween. Yeah, it's actually going to be a Halloween this year, and it's actually going to be many great horror titles that I'm going to watch. I splurged a little bit, but then again, it's October is the month of my birthday, and it's the month of Halloween, and well. And this whole year has been pretty lousy. And also, this is the last month that I have work, at least work for other people. So I will be unemployed. This month I will work to the end of it. And then I will be, next month I will not have any employment. So I'm out of job. So this is sort of the last hurrah, the last celebration before I have to do some sacrifices again. Last year, you don't know this, last year towards the early parts of this year, I actually took half a year off from buying movies. And I mean, I didn't buy any movies. I was, totally disconnected from that. I mean, of course, I checked out deals and such, and I can't stop looking at stuff, But I didn't buy any movies for half a year. Not a single one. I did come back with a vengeance this year. That much I can make clear, and I'm ending it with a bang. So this is sort of / my birthday / Halloween haul, and just celebrating. And it's the last salary, and all of that. So I want to have fun. Nothing real special happened for my birthday, and last year's was crap. Last year's October was crap. I was so depressed, and things didn't work out. And October was a lousy October. It snowed a lot in October several times. It was too cold. Autumn, you didn't really get to experience autumn that much, so I couldn't be out with my camera and take photos and all of those things that I usually do. And yeah. I turned 40, and it was a lousy 40 years. It was lousy turning 40. It wasn't a good day. It wasn't a good time. Many and other things happened last year as well that I don't want to talk about. But it was a lousy year. It was a lousy October, and Halloween wasn't that much fun for me. It was a very depressing time. I tried, but But this year, I'm going to take back everything I lost. I'm going to make this year count. And I know it's going to count. It's going to be fantastic. I'm going to make it so. And I'm going to watch a whole bunch of fantastic, great horror titles. And hopefully, a whole bunch of them will be some of my new favorites. So, anyway, this is my Halloween horror haul for the year 2020. I'm not going to open this now. This is just a sneak peek preview of that my package came in. And there probably will be a Halloween horror haul celebration video later this month. But for now, we're going to go back to the past a little bit. We're going to talk about last year's Halloween. We're going to talk about some of the horror titles that I watched these last couple of years. Plus, and we're going to take a look at some hauls and pickups that I never got to show you guys. So last year's Halloween horror haul and a couple of horror titles that I've seen, and a bunch of stuff. We're going to catch up. So stay tuned for that. Stay right here, and look forward to my other videos coming out this month of October. Happy October, everybody. Take care. Bye. Okay, so here we go. Onwards to the next little section of movies that are stuff that I haven't had time to go through or update or whatever. Many of them not even watch. I opened them and such. But basically what we're doing, we're just catching up, talking about some movies that I haven't had time to update and or talk about or whatever. Just moving on towards the future, and that's why we're doing this. And I guess actually, this was a real treat. Something that I got for a really good price. The Outlaw Gangster VIP collection. The complete collection from Arrow. And I actually picked this up rather cheap. It was on a sale. But I picked this up right around when some of my YouTube people were doing their updates. I picked it up. I think and this was some years back. I remember some of my old YouTube friends picked it up, and I also did. And I was going to do an update, actually right before they did theirs, and I never got it out there. I have the clips where I was going to film it and such, and I failed on, like I dropped all my Blu-rays, and this was on top on it, and I could probably insert that one in here.
Now's a great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day of the week, and the best way to see them first is, of course, a subscription. As always, we thank you very much for watching this video. We'll see you next time.
Damn it happened. Oh no.
Alright, let's talk about Wonder Woman, because...
Oh, it's already falling. It's already starting to separate in the upper levels. Well, how many Blu-rays can you carry? And are you ready for another Heavymetalrille update? Well, anyways, it's time for some Blu-rays. Damn it, stay up there. Don't go anywhere. Okay, let's do this. I was going to drop this tower in the couch, and I was actually going to do a dramatic sort of sketch thing, but I actually care about my Blu-rays. I don't want to destroy them, and I already did this earlier, and I dropped some of them on the floor, and this was probably not a great idea. Whatever. It's time for some Blu-rays! Damn it. I wasn't thinking this through. Let's put them back here. Okay. Let's put them back here. Get down there. There goes my Arrow box set. Sure, it was cheap, but it still costs money. Fuck. Oh. Damn it. It got a crack. Damn it. I don't like this. What the fuck am I doing with my life? What is that? Important lesson for you. Treat your movies with care and tender love. Movies. So I was going to update that movie there, but I never did. So, but anyway, I picked this up in a Arrow sale which was on a Swedish site, but they also honored the Arrow sale a little bit, so they didn't have too crazy expensive of their own site, even though that they did spice it up a little bit. They always do. Yeah. But I got it for a great price. I couldn't pass it up, really, and I often do pass these things up because I don't have the money, and But anyway, I'm so happy with this one, even though I dropped it, so it got cracked, I believe. But it's beautiful. All of them come in their, like this, in their own spots. Well, not their own spots, but still. The presentation is fine, it's good, and I like the sort of drawings, paintings of all the characters and such. I mean, it's alright, and it comes with a book that it should. Every Arrow release should have one of those special books, something to wipe your ass with. I mean, feast your eyes on. Learn something. Get some knowledge. Now, very happy with this one. The Outlaw Gangster VIP collection from Arrow Films. So let's move on here. This is a really good release, and I'm very happy to have. Believe it or not, I picked this up for $9. $9. I got this Argento collection for $9. It's incredible. $9. Actually it's not a bad presentation. I mean, it's sort of, I like the design of it. It works. And all of the discs come separately on their own. Not any bullshit, no double discs or not any of that. All of the movies come in their own special, and they even have a backside on the art inside. For $9, this is a steal, you know. And actually, the transfers and HD quality are great. They're really good. These are good releases. Actually, these are good releases, and I recommend this edition to people. If you want to pick up some cheap Argento stuff and have a good quality and good presentation, you know, and you don't have that much money and such, pick up the Swedish Scandinavian release of the Argento collection. You know, $9 I got this for. $9, and you can still find this very cheap in Sweden. You know, it has Birds with the Crystal Plumage, Tenebrae, Deep Red, Phenomena, Opera, and Suspiria. Some of the best movies he has ever done. I mean, you don't need much else beyond that. You know. So it's a good way to start. It's a good place to start off if you don't have that many Argento movies, or if you don't have that much money. I recommend this collection. The transfer is good, the quality is good, the presentation is good. It looks good, so I highly recommend it actually. So yeah. The same goes for this one. I picked this up cheap. It's also one of those collections. And I have this many times. I picked up all the VHS tapes when they got imported, when you can get them from the UK. So I have all of these movies since when they got released on VHS. So I've been a Jet Li fan since the early 90s. That's when I started. I think I probably saw my first in the 80s. No, something I think maybe I could have seen him back then, but most certainly from the start of the night, somewhere in the early 90s, I became a huge Jet Li fan and collected all of his movies on VHS and such. So I have a lot of Jet Li VHS tapes, and some of them were very hard to get, and you know, the prices were crazy at times. So I mean, I paid $20 or more to get a fucking crappy tape. And crappy, I wouldn't say crappy, but it was expensive for most part. But here I got the collection I picked up for a real steal, between $5 and $9, I believe. Once Upon a Time in China, great movies, fun as hell. I love them. I love these old Jet Li Once Upon a Time in China movies. Yeah. This I picked up for $5, Bruce Lee collection. It's this same sort of thing, same sort of presentation, but here you got 5 movies, I believe. I got 5 movies in this nice box set, and they come on their own discs as well. So there's no bullshit. And the transfer, I haven't seen the transfer, but if it's just like the other releases that they have done, it's going to be really good. The only thing is, it's going to be the English dub versions. It's not going to be any original Cantonese and such for those movies that has it. And on here we don't have Enter the Dragon. We only have The Big Boss, Fist of Fury, The Way of the Dragon, Game of Death, and an extra movie, Dragon: The Bruce Lee Story. But it's still a very, very good collection, and I got it for $5. $5 for that one. That's a steal. And here another one, $9. But I think it was $9. $9. I got the Jackie Chan Vintage Collection. It's the same here. I'm an old Jackie Chan fan. I collected Jackie Chan tape like a crazy motherfucker back in the 90s. My first apartment I had a lot of Jackie Chan tapes in my apartment. Old VHS tapes. But here we have Battle Creek Brawl, Project A, Wheels on Meals, Police Story, Armor of God, Project A2, Police Story 2, Armor of God 2. The Jackie Chan Vintage Collection. And these are great. I already checked out a lot of these, and the transfer is great. The only thing with these ones are, it's the English dub. It's the English dub. You don't have any of the, original language presentations. It's the English, but it's all right because it looks great. For the most part, the transfer is great. So you get a bang for your bucks here. They all come on their own separate discs like this. Just like the Dario Argento collection and such. But these are good. These are really good. And they look great. They look great. So if you want to pick up some Jackie Chan releases, and you have a region-free Blu-ray player, pick up the Swedish releases of the Jackie Chan Vintage Collection. These are really awesome. I mean, I recommend these. And they just released the Jackie Chan Vintage Collection 3, and they're just about to release the Jackie Chan Vintage Collection 4. So I'm very much looking forward to that. Those will be some of the last movies I picked up. Will pick up for a while before I take a break from collecting movies again. But I need to have those at least. But I'm so happy with these. Jackie Chan, I haven't even... No, I have opened this one. But here's the next one. The Jackie Chan Vintage Collection Part 2. Just as awesome. Comes with The Hand of Death, New Fist of Fury, Shaolin Wooden Men, To Kill with Intrigue, The Killer Meteors, Snake and Crane, Arts of Shaolin, Magnificent Bodyguards. So the Jackie Chan Vintage Collection Part 2. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Great stuff. Comes, as you see, on their own discs, on their own separate discs. These are all Blu-ray, HD. And I haven't had time to watch all of these. I don't know exactly how the transfer is, but I think it's going to be great. All of the other releases that I've seen has been great. I have had nothing but good things to say. Beyond it being the English dubs versions. I wish that they had some other versions on them, but okay. But it's great budget vintage collection of good old Jackie Chan stuff. I love Jackie Chan. I highly recommend these. Highly recommend them. And finally I got this one. I actually got this when they released it, I believe. I splurged a little. No, not splurged too much. I actually got a good deal on it. But I finally have this one. Because I am an old Jackie Chan fan. I've been so for a long time. But Jackie Chan in City Hunter. And City Hunter is this manga and anime that they did this live action movie of. And this is the scene where they become these characters from... There's one scene when they are in the arcade and they fight, and they become these characters from the Street Fighter game. And that is legendary. So, but I got this nice Eureka release of the City Hunter movie. Very happy to have this. I can't wait to watch it again, because I haven't watched it since the days of VHS, you know, tape, and that was a long time, sometime when it came out, you know. So City Hunter, picked this up cheap. Godzilla, Shin Godzilla, haven't had time to watch it. One of my favorite movies of all time. It has been so since I was a kid. This influenced my art and such a lot. If you go back in time in the 80s, you will see me drawing circles and a lot of crazy stuff. And it was because of Alfred Hitchcock, because I loved watching Alfred Hitchcock when I was a kid, and there's a whole lot of things that I drew that were Alfred Hitchcock. And yeah, a while back you could get this steelbook release, and I had this a long time now. I mean, it could be 4 years even, but I need to show it off. I love this. This has a beautiful artwork on the front. But it also has on the inside. I have opened it, but I just stick it together because I actually like keeping things like this, where all of the things that came with the release are still there. So I try to keep all of these back things and such with it. So I'm not going to open it now. But it's a really cool steelbook release of one of my favorite movies of all time, Vertigo. I love this movie so much, and this means so much to me. This has shaped me as a human being, as an artist and as a person. So Vertigo, beautiful movie. Also not beautiful movie, but I love this movie. I picked this up on VHS a long time ago. So I have the VHS of it, and that's why I had to pick this one up. So The House of the Dead. This is an anthology movie, also known as Alien... What was it? Alien... I have to watch it. There's another title. Alien Zone. Alien Zone. But in Sweden it was released as House of the Dead on, I believe, Master Video. It was released on, I believe that the company was called Master Video. And it came with this cover on it, and that was what blew my mind. This painted cover with the skull and the hands coming out of the eyes and the house on the top of the skull. Fantastic. Just fantastic. And I like the movie. It's a low budget anthology horror movie, but they did a lot with that money, and they had some good stories. It has some cheese, but it's good. I like it. I like it. It's one of my favorites actually. But it's not for all. But And I did put some money into this, so I paid a little bit more than I usually do. But I knew that I had to have it. You know, it's an important movie to me, and I will never get rid of the VHS tape. Never, and never this Blu-ray. Never. I love this movie. I really do. It's an enjoyable little gem. You know, it's not a perfect movie. It's a diamond in the rough, but I love it. Here are two of my favorite movies from my childhood. House, and I picked this up some years back. But this is one of my most important horror movies in my life. I watched this so many times. I love it. House. Very important movie. So yeah, nice Arrow film release. The same with this one. House 2. Also saw this back in the 80s when it got released on VHS. Very important movie for me. Not as good as the first one, but still very, very good. This is more of an 80s adventure fun movie with some suspenseful thrills and chills, you know. But House 2. And another favorite, Killer Clowns. Yeah, another one picked up back then. Actually, at the same time, picked those ones up. I picked this Killer Clowns edition up. So Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. I do. I love it. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I bought this. This was a long time I bought. I bought this as like a sale on Facebook in a horror group, in a Swedish horror group, where they were selling out their collections and such. I bought this for a really good price. The Comedy of Terrors with one of my favorite actors, Vincent Price. And this is a really good one, like a gothic horror comedy, sort of. Yeah. But Vincent Price plays this funeral home owner, and you know, and they're trying to make a buck and on people dying and such, and they go through some terrible acts to make money. I believe this is Jack Turner. Jack Turner has directed this one, and has directed a lot of my movies that I love. He also directed Night of the Demon. Yeah. The Black Cat, I picked this up at the same time in a sale, and it could be 5 years ago actually, or 4 or 5 years ago. But the Black Cat, I picked that one up as well on Arrow. They were selling the stuff. Picked this up used for a good deal price. Milano Calibro 9, Fernando De Leo movie. I had this for a long time. I mean, 4 or 5 years. Actually, that is how long I had it, and I never updated it. I don't know why things became the way they became. So, but 4 to 5 years, at least 4 years minimum. You know. Picked this up cheap on a town fair. The Skull and The Man Who Cheats Death. So 1 Amicus movie and 1 Hammer horror movie in 1 pack. The Skull, that is a really good movie. That's a really good movie. I also have The Man Who Could Cheat Death on DVD. But yeah, anyway, it was rather cheap. And I finally picked up one of the more important Mario Bava movies that I was missing in my collection. Not released on Arrow, and that's a shame because it doesn't fit up with my other Arrow releases of Mario Bava. So this is a Mario Bava movie called The Whip and the Body with Christopher Lee. This was one that I didn't have, and I picked this up some years back. And I still haven't opened it because I've been waiting for a good time to just sit down and enjoy it fully. My mind can be fully invested in what's happening on the screen. All the sounds, all the choices, all the acting. You know, take it in as a whole. You know, with no distractions. I just want to look at everything, you know, the art, the choices, the directing, everything. I just wanna analyze it and enjoy it for what it is, and learn from it. But Mario Bava, one of my favorite directors of all time. I didn't have this back then, but I had it for a couple of years plus. The Whip and the Body. Picked this up cheap some years back. Short Night of the Glass Dolls. Picked it up used for $10. I thought it was a good price back then. So Short Night of the Glass Dolls. I do have it on DVD. This is also one I picked up used Die Screaming Marianne. Not Pete Walker's best movie, but interesting. It has an interesting movie, but it is a flawed movie. That much I will say. But interesting, very much interesting. House of Mortal Sin, another Pete Walker movie, and I do love Pete Walker. You know, he has made some very solid horror movies. And this is The House of Mortal Sin, aka The Confessional, on Blu-ray. Don't remember what I picked it up for, but I believe I picked it up used from Facebook from a person that was selling out their horror collection. So this is like 4 or 5 years back. The same here, Tower of Evil, and I actually enjoyed this little horror tale about this island where some youth suddenly get killed, and there's something weird going on there, and some people go there to investigate, and they found out the truth of this island and the Tower of Evil. So this was an enjoyable, good one. Let's move on here. Ghost Story. I have this on VHS, but some years back I picked it up on Blu-ray. But I haven't watched it yet. But I got the old sort of classic ghost story tale on Blu-ray now. So there's a whole lot of famous good old school actors in this one. And you know, Fred Astaire, for example. But Ghost Story, good one. Psychomania. People returning from their suicide as these skulled bikers. They're back as the living dead, and they're riding their bicycles, making life a living hell for people. Well, as I was saying, Psychomania! I got Psychomania for a good deal, and I had this for a while, many years actually now, more than a couple of years. 3 years maybe. It could be 3 years. Psychomania on BFI. Good thing. Sleepwalker, picked that one up at the same time. Sleepwalker, British horror, BFI. Yeah, picked that one up as well. Let's see here, The Innocents. This is one of those takes on the Turn of the Screw. They have done many takes and many retellings of that story. But this is one of them, a black and white movie that I always wanted, and finally I got a good deal on it. Back then, The Innocents. Yeah. And here we have I picked this up used. Wait Until Dark, a Warner Archive release. A movie with Audrey Hepburn, Alan Arkin, and Richard Crenna. An effective shocker, a nail-biting climax. The nail-biting climax is a classic. Anyway, Wait Until the Dark. And I believe I've seen this when I was a kid, because I remember stuff from it. I've seen this back in the 80s sometime. Wait Until Dark. Roller Coaster, and I actually have this on VHS as well. Also another one that I saw when I was younger, but I never had to relive, even though I picked up the VHS tape of it as well, but I never rewatched it. But I got this, picked it up for $10 actually back then. These are some years back. And this, I finally upgraded an old Guillermo del Toro classic, The Devil's Backbone. I finally upgraded it on Blu-ray for $5. I believe I paid $5 for it. $5. I paid $5 for this special edition Blu-ray of The Devil's Backbone, the old haunted classic from Guillermo del Toro. A weird ghost tale. Really good one. But yeah, that's it for some of the stuff that I didn't have time to update and talk about. But now we're catching up, now we're getting there. We're getting to the new stuff, and we're getting onwards to better things and different things maybe, perhaps. But we'll see. But I got some more stuff to talk about. This is my Halloween horror haul here, and we're going to end with that one. We're moving on to that one, and that will be the last for this long-ass winded video. So we're going to talk about that from last year. So yeah, onwards to watch that. So let's continue on with my last stack of movies here. And these movies are from last year's Halloween period. The Halloween autumn season when I picked up a bunch of stuff for Halloween and such. Yeah, probably some stuff before that as well, but mostly consists of the stuff from Halloween of last year. And like I said before, Halloween wasn't that great for me. Unfortunately, last year's Halloween was one of the well, least satisfying experience that I had in my life. It was not a good period. Very depressing, and a lot of things not being the way that they should be. And to say the least, it wasn't a good time. I didn't have a good time in my life, and yeah. But now I'm making up for that. Now I'm going to show you some of the stuff that I picked up last year. So this is actually over a year ago. Some of them, some are perhaps just about a year. But yeah, some upgrades, my Halloween haul from 2019. So let's go on. I started actually upgrading some of my favorite movies from some of my favorite directors. One of them is David Cronenberg. And this is one of my favorite movies of all time. Actually, The Brood. This is my favorite David Cronenberg movie. I picked this up for $5. It was a steal. So $5 on Blu-ray. I picked up The Brood. The Brood. Totally uncut. Yeah. I haven't checked it out yet, so I don't know how the transfer looks, but I'm looking forward to checking it out on Blu-ray. Love this movie. Another David Cronenberg movie, Rabbi. Yeah, another good one. Really good one. So $5 for that one as well. And here we have a Stephen King, and I've been upgrading my Stephen King stuff. That's what I started doing last year. I started buying Stephen King Blu-ray stuff, upgrading. I love my Stephen King movie adaptations and series and such. I love Stephen King. He's one of my favorite creators. But The Dead Zone, another David Cronenberg movie and a Stephen King movie. $5. Another Stephen King movie, not from David Cronenberg. Picked this up for $5. Firestarter. I remember watching this back in the 80s. I really liked this a lot. Yeah, it was a good one. An early role from Drew Barrymore. Good movie. Pet Sematary. Picked this up very cheap. I think it was less than $5 actually that I picked this up. Pet Sematary. So another upgrade. I love this movie. Always liked Pet Sematary. So yeah. And then the new one. I also picked this up very cheap. I believe I picked it up for $5. But the new movie. I saw this in the theater as well. I worked when this movie was in the theater actually. So. And I enjoyed it. It was good. I do have some criticism of this movie. Some of the changes that I didn't really like, and some of the stuff that they removed. I thought it was very unnecessary. But I understand why they did what they did. I don't necessarily like it all. But overall, this was a satisfying movie. I mean, there was a lot of things that were really good in this. So overall, I like it. Overall, it's a positive experience. But I do have some minor things. But a good Stephen King adaptation, except some of the changes that they did. They didn't really have to do it. It lessened the impact the movie had, and the changes that they did actually brought less tension and excitement to the overall experience, I would say. Changed too much to change some important things. But that doesn't mean that this is a bad movie. This is a really good horror movie. I believe that you actually should have this in your horror collection. So the new remake or reimagining of Pet Sematary, really good. It, the original TV movie series / 2-episode series of It, and I am a fan of this. Some people complain, not me. I like it. I'm a fan. Always been since I saw it. So I like it. I like a lot about it. I think it's a good time. Yeah, Tim Curry was awesome in it. Then we have here, I picked this up way earlier, but I haven't updated this. Also another sheep that I got, Midvinterblod, also known as, what is it known as? I don't remember what it was called in English, but But this is a Norwegian Christmas slasher movie. I believe this guy escapes from an insane asylum. Or was it that? At least he's a serial killer that goes around killing people at Christmas time. I picked this up cheap, $5 I believe. This was one of my main watches last Halloween, and it was a good one. I really enjoyed it, and I have enjoyed his other movies as well. We Go On and Yellow Brick Road. So The Witch in the Window. I really liked this. This was a good time. I really liked what it was saying and where it was going, and there was a little message underneath it all. It was a good, enjoyable experience. I actually recommend this one. This was one of the good things about last year's Halloween, actually, I would say. So happy to have this one. Annihilation. Even though it's not bad, it's good, but it was a little bit of a disappointment, actually. I really feel that they didn't go all the way with it, and they showed too little of things. Interesting concept and such, but there was some very weird acting and some very weird choices in the casting. I mean, I don't know where they went, but there are interesting sceneries and interesting designs that they don't linger on too much, but they do have it, and I do like the concept and the sort of idea of it all. But I just wish they went a bit further with it. But overall, not a bad movie. It's good, actually. So Annihilation, I was just a little bit disappointed. Maybe I had too much of an expectation, even though I really didn't have much of any expectation on it. If I think back, so, but it's all right, This was actually a little bit of a disappointment. Another one of all of these are pretty much Halloween pickups from my Halloween horror haul from 2019. But this was a little bit of a disappointment. Interesting ideas and good like designs and such. Like an interesting concept, but the movie was like sort of the editing was sort of a mess, and how they tried to deliver the story was sort of a mess. Even though it's still interesting in some ways, I'm definitely going to give this another try. But it just just didn't reach where it needed to go. But still, I like the slip cover, and I like the presentation of it, the whole one. And I've always been curious about this one. This has been on my lists for a long time until I picked it up. But still, I mean, I like the ideas and the concept and such, but I don't like the end result of it, unfortunately. I'm going to give it another watch. There were some good things with it, definitely, but it could have been better, But still, yeah, there were some interesting things in it. The Toy Box, haven't watched this. Another one of my Halloween haul, of course. The Toy Box. Yeah, seems interesting. I've not seen it. Killer Mermaids. Yeah, I picked up another one earlier. Another mermaid killer movie. What is it called? Cold Skin. So I picked this one up as well. And it has Franco Neri in it. That was very interesting to me. But it seemed interesting, actually. Killer Mermaids. Didn't get to check it out, but I have it. Death Trench. No, this is not a World War II story. These zombies are not from the World War. So this is not a Nazi zombie movie. This is from the First World War, and these are old German uniforms. So these are not Nazis. And this is really not a zombie story either. It's an infection story, yes, and there are some parasites in it. And these soldiers that are on a mission what mission? They're on a mission to scout this area and reach a certain destination, I believe, and they end up in this underground bunker sort of thing. And they find out about this infection. Because the Germans are trying to cover it up and close this underground, and there's a whole sort of underground tunnel complex underneath. But very, very interesting, and it was actually good. But don't expect it to be a Nazi zombie movie, because it's not. And don't expect it to be a World War II movie, because it's absolutely not. Yeah. So, but it's still interesting. I like it, but it's, you know, it's not going to be what you think it is. So, but it's still good. Dead Awake, I like the concept and such, and the movie was alright. Could have been a little bit better, but this was not bad, actually. I enjoyed it for what it is, and especially the concept. I like the ideas. I like these sort of subject matters that this movie explores. So it was alright. Massacre County, I believe it was a Spanish movie, or what was it? Portuguese? Portugal. Haven't watched this, Massacre County, but it seems very interesting. And I was supposed to watch it last year, but it didn't happen, unfortunately. Roseville, haven't watched this either. But yeah, comes with a slip case, and I do love my slip cases. So Roseville, yeah, not much to say about it. I don't remember what it was about and such. But yeah, very interesting. Redwood, I have watched this. It was alright. You know, it was alright. You know, it wasn't bad. But it wasn't all that. But you know, it wasn't bad. Sort of forest vampires, but I think they aren't that. They're less a kind of vampire. I wouldn't call them smart vampires. They're more of a primal sort of vampire human beings. And these couple are out in the wood for some reason, and you know, healing up their relationship, and it seems that like the guy has cancer, and they're there to sort of, you know, have a moment together. But there's more to it. Yeah, it was interesting. Nightlight. Yeah, I watched this last Halloween. I thought it was all right, interesting. Yeah, it was. I actually enjoyed it. There were some interesting things in this one, the nursery, but there was also a lot of flaws and such. It is, but there were moments, especially towards the end, that I really liked, like the payoff. It was good. They really tried to put effort into the last scene and such. So you know, overall, I don't think this was that bad actually, but it definitely. There's a whole lot of flaws and weird moments and sort of half bad acting in some places, but then there are payoffs and good moments as well. So it's sort of all right. You know, there's some interesting ideas in it. I definitely want to see them do another movie. That's actually how much I thought some of these stuff were interesting in it. So the nursery, yeah, I picked this up. Yeah. Yeah, way back, you know. Actually, that same year, I think, was it for Halloween? No, I picked this up for Halloween. Visions of Suffering. Haven't watched it yet. I was going to watch it like a year ago. Never did. I always wanted to have it, and I splurged on it. It cost a little bit more than I would usually want to pay, but it still was all right. It still was a good price. But I'm very curious to check this out. It seems surreal and you know, like symbolic and artistic the way that I like it. You know, I like it to be a little bit nightmarish and fever dreamish, I would say. Surreal. So Visions of Suffering. Yeah, and some of my friends picked this up and they talked about it last year as well in some of their videos. Then Forest of Lost Souls. We wanted to check this out for a long time. Never did. Was supposed to check it out way back. But yeah, black and white. Interesting movie. Yeah, let's move on. White Zombie, a Swedish edition of White Zombie. Not a stranger to this movie. I've seen it many times before, but I never updated it. I believe I picked this up a little bit before Halloween. But White Zombie, the Swedish release. This is a new HD transfer actually, so it's sort of a better DVD quality on this one. White Zombie. Call Girl of Cthulhu. Never updated this one, but I have this for a while. Yeah. Clown House. Yeah, I'm not a stranger to this. I have the VHS tape for many years, but I didn't have the DVD, and so I missed out on that. So, but I picked this one up, which is the very same release, but it, you know, this is a sort of a clone disc, I believe, of the. Is it the MGM release or what is it? MGM, but it's all right. The quality is actually good on it, so good. I like this movie despite all the horrible things which you can smell on it, not smell on it, but you can feel it, specifically in the beginning of the movie. Oh, it feels very weird, you know. It doesn't sit quite right with me, but still, I always liked this one even before I knew about all of that stuff. So, anyway, The Midnight Man. I'm having a Midnight Mind right now. But The Midnight Man, I like this one. This was good. Like a creature feature horror story about these people playing a game with this demon character. Yeah. There's more to it, but I liked it. Robert Englund is in it, and he has a small role, and he's there more than a minute at least. I think he is. Is he in the movie 5 or 10 minutes at least? But it's good. Midnight Man, I really enjoyed it. The Russian Bride. Oh, this was a good Halloween watch. I like this one. This was really good. I recommend this one. The Russian Bride. Good, really good. Suspenseful thriller horror story. Really good. Good acting. Good location. Good story. This rich guy gets a Russian bride and wants to marry her, and he does, but he has his ulterior motives. So The Russian Bride, really good. I recommend this one if you like snowy environments and old mansions and such, and you know, really good. The Boar, haven't watched this one. On Nuta Film Swedish release. The Boar. I'll wait for instructions. Christmas science fiction horror story. Yeah, I haven't watched this one yet. Let's move on. The Squad, and this seems familiar. It feels like I checked this out before, but you know, I don't remember where. But The Squad, another one I picked up. Jackals, picked up this one used for a good price. Jackals. Ghostmaker, also picked this one up used. I always want to check this out. This was called something else. What was it called? Shadowbox, or what was it? There was another title that it had long before it was called The Ghostmaker, and I don't remember the title. But this was on my list for the longest time when they were working on it. I was very interested in this one. Yeah, but still, you finally have an edition of A Gun for Jennifer. Something that's been missing from my collection for the longest time, but I finally picked up a used copy of it. I don't remember what I paid for it, but what was it? $5? Or what was it? Have I $7? Okay, that's alright. For this one, it was alright, I think. Yeah. A Gun for Jennifer. A nice, I believe it's a German release. Yeah. But it's alright. You know, it's alright. Yeah. Let's move on here. Yeah, an old Hammer release, the MGM DVD. Picked this up sometime back. The Hound of the Baskervilles. I need to collect. I like those old DVDs releases and such. I need to have them all. And even if there's a Blu-ray release. And finally, one of my old childhood favorite series, Tales from the Dark Side. I really like this. There's a lot of good stuff. Tom Savini's, you know, the closet story with the Lindsay character. Was it Lise? What was the little creature's name? Something like that. It was such a long time since I saw it. But anyway, Tales from the Dark Side. I really love this series. Used to watch it. I believe they maybe showed some episodes on TV. At least, you know, I rented the tapes back in then. We rented the tapes a lot. I watched all of them. And I have several editions of the old VHS tapes in my collection. I had them for a long time. So those were some of the very early tapes that I got. I was quick on that because I always liked Tales from the Dark Side. Some really good episodes in this series. Really good episodes. Yeah, love it. Picked it up for a good price. But that's it for my Halloween Horror Haul of 2019. And you know, there's going to be more videos. And I'm going to try to cram them out before Halloween of 2020. We'll see how it goes. But stay tuned for more. Take care, everybody. Happy October. Happy Halloween. Bye. Yeah, damn straight. I'm done with all of that. But now, it's all of that I need to deal with. And that will be in an upcoming video. So stay tuned for all of that. All of this stuff. And there's more here. There's even behind here. But that's all the stuff that I need to update. You know. Oh, get damn it. There's a lot. And I don't know if I have the time. But I will do my best. Take care. Happy October. Happy Halloween. I'm back, baby.